So this is going to be a quick demonstration of live RNG manip in Battle Network 1, and I will then quickly explain kind of how it works. So your step counter is very important, and to fix our step counter for this manip specifically, I've just done this. I've gone into Internet Area 1, then come back to the homepage. And what that's done is it's put Mega Man in a fixed position that you can get into easily 100% of the time. And that is the position I'm going to be starting this manip from. You don't have to be fast on the title screen. RNG doesn't move there in Battle Network 1. You just need to buffer your movement out of it, so upright B. And so from here there's actually an encounter I can get between here and the next corner, so I'm going to save reset to get a consistent walk to the corner. And then if I move up this way, I will get this encounter every time, which will give me A-G. And you can actually take it a layer deeper, because in battles, there's no kind of passive change in the RNG manip. It's all related to things that you do directly, like firing the buster or using certain chips or certain enemy movements. So I can actually buffer out of this and chain another RNG manip for no encounter to here, and then I will save. And I'll actually go ahead and pick up a Mech Guard G as well. So in this battle, the reward you'll get default is Zenny, so I have to do one buster shot, and that changes the RNG by 1. And now we'll get our 5 rank, and it will be a Mech Guard G. And so kind of from here, and you can use encounters as fixed positions like this, by the way. This is technically not a fixed position, but if I save here, it kind of becomes one, and I can either replay the whole manip and do trial and error with save states or whatever not, and try to figure out what I'm going to do, or I can save here and get a reset, which will give me a completely different RNG list, and I buffer right B. I've actually not looked this far in, so if we hold right and B, we actually make it to this corner with no encounter, which is pretty nice. Alternatively, you could do what's called a bounce off this wall, where we change to down right and then down, which makes that a consistent movement. As long as we touch the wall and then don't try to cut straight to down, we can do down right and then down, and that's going to take a consistent amount of steps, and we'll be able to get into this encounter here. Now, say we didn't like that encounter, we don't want it. We could then bounce off this wall still, but now we can do a direction change here, and we've made it all the way to here. And you can actually face down to talk to this prog. But one of the things we did do when we were routing Internet Area 1 is we can just run left into this corner. And I mean, got an encounter there. But we don't like an encounter there, so we can just do this. And then that was actually an inconsistent number of steps, so I'm gonna restart. It was a bad example. So we're trying to get to that corner with no encounter, because we got everything we want for this area, right? So we want to get to that corner over there. And this is kind of just the trial and error you have to do. So I've made it this time. I can actually, I think it's the jack out button, changes where Mega Man's facing. So we can talk to the prog here. And that's required for story progression this early in the game. And then when he starts to run away, saves his position, we can just hold right. Or if we don't like this Metar encounter, which would be fair, since there's no escape, we can do like down and then right. That didn't work either. So maybe we do down, down, right, right. Oops, hit the prog. We can do like down, down, right, right. And that gets us past. And then we make it to here with no encounter. We're like, well, we don't really like that either. So we do the same thing, but now we do a direction change. Oh shit, that gave me an encounter. Let's do the direction change slightly later. And now we've made it to the access. And I believe that actually, that access point, I think, it puts you in a fixed position again. At least if you approach it from the same spot every time. I think it actually resets your step counter, so we can just kind of free ball walk over here and check this. And I think that also resets you, so we can just come back to warp, do whatever we want from here, pretty much. So yeah, that's more or less how RNG manip works. And if we want to look for an encounter, we can maybe use this position, come up here. No, we don't like metars. Like, check here. Like, yes, we don't like these. We just do a bunch of direction changes until we get something we do like. You'll notice you might notice these are the same encounters we were getting in the other direction. That's because the direction changes we're doing are the same. Just in the other direction now. Like, if we hold up this way, we're going to get the same encounter with the same chip draws as if we hold right this way. And so there is a stage further we can go. It's like, maybe we don't like mini bombs for this Metar encounter, right? This is how you folder stack. We want to open the folder, we want to be like, those are mini bomb L's. We don't like those. We'd rather have our wide swords, or like wide sword and X panel 1. So now we just resave. Like, okay, and now we will get wide sword and X panel 1 in the slots the mini bombs were in. So that's kind of just how you would go about setting up an RNG manip. It's all trial and error, and you can just switch the stuff in your folder to the stuff you want to draw. And if you only want chip draws on a boss, that's super easy. You just put the chips in the slots you want. You save in a corner before the boss fight. You run into the boss, see what slots you want. Reset, put the chips in the slots you want. Save again. Then just run into the boss again. And you want to start holding the direction you're going to the boss, but as well as start this time, just to buffer the cutscene skip.